Picture this. You're blasting your way through everyone's favorite stage, Sundered Grove, having the easiest time of your life, blowing through the constant Elder-Lemurian ganks like nothing, easily dodging stone golem beams and mini mushroom barrages left and right, and oh wait, hold up. It seems that I've made a slight error here. Let's try that again. You're getting absolutely wrecked on everyone's least favorite stage, Sundered Grove, having the worst time of your life, getting annihilated by Elder-Lemurian ganks, golem beams, and mushroom barrages. Yeah, that sounds about right. You now have a few options on how to continue your run. Number 1, continue what you're already doing to inevitably fail to overcome the next big swarm of enemies and end your run. Probably not the right choice. 2, farm for the legendary chest and pray to RNGesus that you pull a clover, meat hook, or Tesla coil. Better, but who knows how long farming for the chest will take, so it's still not the best call. Or finally, 3, find a blue portal, hit the TP, and turn on Ultra Omega Sweaty Gamer Mode in order to complete it and go to the bazaar. Aha, I think we found a winner. How do I know that? Well, for the small price of just a few lunar coins, you now have access to ATG and clover cauldrons, a shaped glass, a gesture, and a spinel tonic. Woohoo, your run has been saved, woo! Obviously, this is a hypothetical example and things won't play out exactly as I just described them, but make no mistake, the claim that lunar coins drastically change your run is entirely accurate and the whole point of this video. Some of you may already know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the runs that are complete slogs, where you have little to no faith that you'll even make it through the next stage. Those runs that are then immediately given a remedy by simply hitting the Newt altar and going through the blue portal. The instant run changing portals. After all of my time with things such as the one run challenge, Mayo runs, and especially Eclipse difficulty, I can easily say that lunar coins were an integral component in my success. No questions asked. So how do you make the most use out of them? How do you know when to spend them versus continuing to stockpile and save them for your next rainy run, if you will? Get it? Rainy run? Well, let's start with actually acquiring lunar coins, as you know, you kind of need them before you can spend them. Currently, there are 3 ways to get coins. 1, simply by killing stuff. Each monster has a 0.5% chance to drop a coin on death, but this chance is halved for every coin you've already received in that run. So on average, you'll get your first coin after 2 kills, your second after an additional 400 kills, your third after an additional 800 kills, so on and so forth. This means for the average run, you can expect anywhere from 1 to 3 coins to drop. Number 2, obliterating at the Celestial Portal for 5 coins. Your first chance at going through the Celestial will appear on stage 8, meaning you have to loop your run at least once. Also, the base of 5 coins is increased to a whopping 15 if you happen to have the Beads of Fealty lunar item on you. Watch out for the boss fight that comes with it though. 90% of the time you have to spend at least 5 coins to even see a Beads of Fealty, making the payoff not nearly as worth as simply collecting the 5 coins without it. Finally, number 3, killing the final boss, Mithrix. Like the Obliteration Obelisk, this will also end your run, but will net you 10 blue donuts, provided you are the victor of the fight, which can be a bit easier said than done sometimes. If your goal is to amass a nice stockpile of coins, killing Mithrix is often the most efficient way to do so. You get 10 coins instead of 5, and once you get a good amount of kills under your belt, the Mithrix fight overall isn't really an issue, provided you've got a good amount of mobility, which is easily taken care of by playing a survivor like Huntress. Plus, you could play on Drizzle. Ain't no shame in that, baby. Alright, now that you know how to get a decent amount of coins, let's talk about how to spend them. Basically, as you heard from that intro, spend your coins on blue portals whenever you feel like your run needs a boost. Whether the boost is small or large doesn't matter. If your run needs some oomph, you find an altar and buy the portal. There is just way too much potential value to pass by. Even spending 1 coin just to peek inside of the cauldrons is worth it. Sure, you won't get insane stuff most of the time, but you'll always leave the portal with more value than when you entered. There are 3 major components to this value. Number 1, access to the void fields. Number 2, the green and red cauldrons. And number 3, the choice of 5 lunar items or equipment. Starting with the void fields, the earlier you go, the better. If you can manage to finish stage 1 and then go through the portal in all under 3 minutes, the director will have next to no credits to spawn enemies. You'll get beetles, regular Lemurians, and wisps as your enemies rather than brass contraptions, mushrooms, golems, and such. Time is also paused entirely while inside of the void field, so all that you need to do is mosey around for about 10 minutes, charge the 9 cells, and collect your free loot, which includes a red item. Bam, done. The power spike you get from the fields is huge, obviously, but it's actually the least important reason for taking a blue portal. Personally, I don't find the void fields necessary to do in any run because it's honestly boring just to sit there for a minimum of 10 minutes in every single run. So that leaves the cauldrons and the lunar items. These are the main reasons for taking a blue portal. The options they give you and the power they provide is just massive. The green and red items from the cauldrons are good, but they simply have too much variance in their options. Where there are only 16 lunar items and equipment with 5 chances at getting something good, you have almost 50 greens and reds with only 2 choices. Yes, you can walk in and be greeted by the almighty ATG Clover combo, but let's be real, that's not not going to happen too often. However, as I said, the chance of getting something pretty good is quite high, and especially if you have some white and green scrap to trade in, it's still very much worth that single coin you spent. The Lunars, on the other hand, are a different story. I'm not going to go into too much detail here on their wildly different effects, as I'm expecting that you already understand the relationship of Lunars versus regular items, so I'll just give you the big three to look out for: Transcendence, Shape Glass, and Spinel Tonic. In normal runs, yes, Transcendence is not that good and honestly detrimental in more situations than not. Why would you bother getting it and relying on your shields constantly refreshing when you can just get capped crit and a few sites, not to mention rejuve racks, and get far better results? That all still holds true. However, if your goal is to intentionally end your run, either by killing Mithrix or obliterating, then grabbing Transcendence is absolutely a great choice. You have no guarantee of getting a decent amount of healing by the time stage 5 rolls around, so entirely removing the need for it can be the difference between successfully ending your run versus dying by not being able to recover from multiple hits. And if you're trucking through Eclipse difficulty, Transcendence is a game changer. Take it 100% of the time, no questions asked. Okay, maybe not on you. Sorry, buddy. Shaped Glass and Spinel Tonic are a bit easier to understand. What is the main reason that your run may be struggling? Lack of healing? Mobility? Defense? No, lack of damage. There's no need to dodge, no need to heal, and no need to mitigate anything if everything's already dead, right? Shaped Glass and Tonic would like to say hello. The power spike these two puppies give is just crazy. However, them being Lunars means that yes, there are some downsides. Having your HP and the chance of lowering all of your stats by 5% multiple times would be considered quite relevant to discussion, but honestly, they're not too much of an issue once you get to a certain level of experience with them. Having your HP may seem like a massive trade-off once you first start playing with Glass, but once you understand and perfect the concept of kill or be killed, it's hardly even an issue at that point. Think about it like this. You're choosing the upside of dealing with threats literally twice as fast, with the downside that now you can't take as many mistakes before dying. Guess what? If you're dealing with threats faster, you're also lowering the amount of times you can make a mistake in the first place. If I'm fighting a brass contraption for 5 seconds, there will be far fewer windows for it to hit me than if I were fighting it for 10. That's the whole point of taking Shaped Glass. You can then multiply that example by 10, 20, 40 enemies, and then you get the whole picture of why it's so powerful. Spinel Tonic, well, I have a whole video discussing it already available. Here's also where I mentioned the Gesture of the Drowned, as it has basically no downside and is really, really strong. Here is a quick summary. It's OP. Pair it with a single gesture and you've reduced the downside by half, grab a fuel cell or 2 on top of that, and the negative effect of the tonic is almost entirely gone at that point. It seriously cannot be overstated. If your run is struggling in any way, shape, or form, Tonic will absolutely turn it around 100% guaranteed. And that basically covers everything. Long story short, get some Lunar Coins if you haven't already. Save them for when you want a power spike, buy the portal, and voila! Chances are that single coin you just spent gave you the turnaround you needed, and maybe even some more on top of that. What are your thoughts? Think the Effigy of Grief is the best lunar item in the game, and you should only ever take a portal to buy it? Leave a like or dislike on the video and a comment below. You can check out my stream at twitch.tv/WoolieGaming and consider joining our Discord server as well. Thank you for watching.